Salvete discipuli. My name is Magistra Gerard. I will be going over some Latin basics for you today. Whether you're jumping into Latin for the very first time in the middle of Primer A, Latin for Children, or if you just need a refresher on some of the basics, that's what I plan to provide for you today. We are going to begin with the Latin verb. If you can remember the definition of a verb from your grammar studies, you will remember that a verb is a word that does an action, shows a state of being, links two words together, or helps another verb. Today we're going to be focusing on verbs that do actions. So all of the verbs we're going to be talking about right now show action. We're going to take our model verb, amo, and we're going to take a look at it. First thing you'll notice, it comes in 4 principal parts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. From these 4 principal parts, we're able to form all of the forms of the verb that we're going to need. The first principal part is the first person present singular form. So this would be I love. The second principal part is called the infinitive. That would be equivalent to the English to love or to do something is what the infinitive is. The third principal part is the perfect first person form. So this would be I loved. And this would be our participle form, the fourth principal part. This would just be simply loved. So if we were going to practice memorizing this verb, we would say, amo, amare, amavi, amatum. I love to love, I loved, loved. Let's talk about the 3 attributes of a Latin verb. Every verb that we work with is going to have person, number, and tense. When we're talking about the person, if you can see on this chart down here, in yellow it says first person, second person, third person. If we're speaking of first person, we would say I in the singular. Second person would be you. Third person would be he, she, or it. If we're speaking of the plural, we would say first person plural is we. Second person plural would be y'all. Third person plural would be they. Okay, so those are our 3 possible persons that can be used as the subject of a verb. Next, if we move on to number, number simply refers to, are we talking about a singular person doing the action, or are we talking about more than one person doing the actions? So this would be singular or plural. And then the last thing that we can know about a Latin verb is the tense. Tense always has to do with time. In Latin, beginning Latin, we are going to be talking about the present tense, and we're going to be talking about the imperfect tense, and we will move on to the future tense, but I'm not going to go there right now. So the tense tells you when the action is done. So by looking at one Latin